He sings that song Gratitude, you know, the one that just stirs up the good stuff. Brandon Lake is with us today on Spirit 105.3. It's so great to meet you. How are ya?
I'm doing great. It's good to meet y'all as well.
So you were just in Seattle with Mavs City. What did you do here? What did you love about our city?
Oh, my gosh. Well, I had to go down and see the original Starbucks, of course. And then I actually grew up where my dad had watched this documentary or this film on the guys who throw the fish.
Yes?
And so I literally remember as a kid, my dad was fascinated by it and how they ran their business and how successful they were by creating these moments connecting with people. And so as soon as I got off my flight, I Ubered down, and that was the first thing I had to go see and film it for my kids. And so that was pretty fun.
I actually caught one of those fish, Brandon. I couldn't believe it.
Really?
They let you catch them?
Yep.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
I should have jumped in there. Dang.
I smelled for the rest of the day, though.
Oh, I am sure you did.
A great place to visit for sure, Pike Place Market. Brandon, tell us about Gratitude. We love that song.
Yeah, I actually got the chance to write this with two of my great friends, Ben Hastings and Dante Bowe. And we were actually in Australia, hanging out at Ben's apartment overlooking the bay and the area. Beautiful city. And, you know, it wasn't this crazy, like, open heaven necessarily kind of moment. It was just, we were just talking about the goodness of God. And me and Ben were kind of talking about, like, man, there is nothing we can offer God but our worship that really he's worthy of, right? He's so much greater than us. He's so much bigger. And, like, what can we truly offer him? Like a king, you know, and almost relating it to like what would you really bring a king that he could possibly make him so happy or proud? It's like he has everything he needs, right? He has everything we want. But how precious that is that maybe it's just simply our song. Maybe it's our hallelujah. Maybe it's our hands lifted high that is the sweetest offering. And then we began to write that. And then I just remember I was like, man, we got to go after a bridge that just encourages people to maybe take a step further than just singing or maybe painting this picture that helps them see that they have more to offer God than maybe they think they do, even in that sound, even in that worship. And so that's where we decided to use the language of, you know, you've got a lion inside of your lungs. One, just like, hey, you have a big song to lift up to the Lord. But then two, kind of meaning two things, like the lion of the tribe of Judah. Like if you're a child of God, he's living inside of you. So in some ways, like, let that sound out. And the craziest thing about this song is that it was almost not going to make the record. And I recorded it probably 4 or 5 different times.
Wow.
Because it just did not feel right to me. And so what happened eventually is, you know, I told my producer, all right, just give me an acoustic guitar and let me sing it. And he just began to track me singing it. Then we finally found something that I think it wanted to be the whole time, which is this song that starts pretty chill and intimate, but then it grows. It's like it grows the whole time and then explodes into this, you know, big bridge and big chorus. And we didn't stop working on it until I listened to it. And then as soon as it ended, I'm like, I want to listen to it again. I want to listen to it again. So I learned a lot through creating this song and in the process of, it's not just how we wrote it, but it was like it needed to be presented the right way. And I think we finally got something special.
It feels like a psalm that King David would write. That's what it feels like to me. I loved it the instant I heard it the first time.
Wow. I think it's the honesty. You know, David wrote so honest, and he was just completely vulnerable and real about what he was feeling with God, you know, the goods and the bads. And I think hopefully people will kind of hear that in this song by the words that we chose. It's not like we're trying to candy coat anything. It's like, here I am, God. Like, yes. I got nothing but a hallelujah. Here it is, you know.
What are you grateful for right now, Brandon, in summer of 2022?
I'm grateful that I get to go home from tour in a few days. I don't know. Other than my relationship with God, I don't know there's anything I'm more grateful for than family. I'm a family guy. I'm a local church dude. I'm excited to be back in my city. This tour has been amazing. I'm grateful for my friends and my family that I've been on the road with that have made it so special. And then I'm grateful that I have my third son is about to show up in a few days.
Yes!
So what do you love most about being a dad?
Oh, my gosh. There's never a dull moment at all. Especially, I'm about to have 3 boys. With 2 boys,
oh, no.
I mean, it's nonstop. They're Energizer bunnies. It's literally, they go all day until they finally crash. They're just nonstop playing. So I still feel like, in a lot of ways, I'm 32, but I feel like I'm 18 sometimes.
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, I mean, they're really my best friends. And then on a deeper level, I think why I love being a dad is it's just seeing them realize things and learn things and grow. And they grow so fast. Every day is an opportunity just to see them step more into who God's called them to be in little ways. And that's really special.
That's beautiful. You know, I saw your confession on Instagram that you don't really have any dad jokes, but you do have a knock-knock joke that I loved hearing you tell, and I wondered if you would share that with us, Brandon.
Of course. So you got to do it with me. So
Okay.
knock, knock,
Who's there?
interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow.
Boo!
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. I love it. Steve will tell you I do little jokes in the morning. He loves them, don't you,
That's going to
Steve?
show up on the air soon. I know.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we need a Brandon Lake joke. I love that.
Anytime you call and tell me a joke, Brandon, it will go on the radio.
I love that. I'm going to be calling a lot.
All right. While we're talking about kids and how awesome they are, it's almost time to go back to school. And I just feel like you've got a pep talk in you for somebody who's about to get on the bus for a brand new school year.
Wow, that's, what comes to mind is I was so scared to go to school growing up. And so maybe I dealt with anxiety more than I realized, things like that. But you know what? There's a scripture that I would literally say in the back of the car as my parents were taking me to school. Every single day, I would recite Psalm 34:4. It says, I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all of my fears. And so I just want to encourage anybody who's about to head back to school, man, don't fear it. Like when you seek the Lord in that fear, he is going to meet you there, and he's going to deliver that fear. And he's with you, like he's for you. And this could be the most spiritual thing, too. Be yourself. Have fun. And you know what? Be a learner. The more you take advantage of these seasons right now of learning and growing, it will set you up for years to come. I don't underestimate the power of being a learner.
That's perfect. Do you know that's my third encounter with that Bible verse in the last 3 days? I wonder if God is like my friend Mary Lou sent it to me. It was in my Bible reading plan. And now you, Brandon, what does that mean?
What does it mean, Lord? That's amazing.
It is. Thank you for letting God use you today.
So, Brandon, you've had a heart for mental health awareness. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, sir. Man, after my first tour, it's not something I've ever grown up with or experienced other than just probably a normal standard amount of anxiety or fear. But 3 years ago, I came off my very first tour, and we went to Disney World as a family, which that'll make you have a panic attack in general.
Yes.
But I met my family there, and I didn't really know what was going on until I met with a therapist and counselor once I got back home. But what had happened was I had experienced a lot of dreams come true in a very short period of time. And I just come off of tour, and my adrenaline is just completely depleted. And basically, I had a full-blown panic attack and just breakdown, anxiety attack, whatever you want to call it. All I knew was I felt like I was going crazy. And I'm like, God, I'm like on the mountaintop right now. You've been so good to me. Why am I thinking all of these crazy things and filled with so much fear and insecurity? So I didn't even recognize myself. And it happened so quickly. And so I met with my counselor, and he helped me understand what had taken place, and that when you're depleted of all those things and you don't have rest, and then I didn't have the mental tools to notice what was going on every day, it attacks your emotional management system, your pain management system, and even your immune system, Wow. And so I felt like I was going into full-blown, just crashing. And that started kind of my journey, and it wasn't like I was immediately fixed. It's like I've been on a process of gaining tools to become healthier mentally. And, they say new levels, new devils. It's like I was wrestling with things that I didn't know I would until I experienced that new level. And that's not for everybody. It's not like, oh, you're going to do this amazing thing and then boom, a panic attack's on the other side of it. I'm not saying that. It's just how it manifested for me. And that began this journey of really going after my fears and my insecurities. And while I'm having this process, COVID starts happening shortly after that. And I'm just watching our world riddled with fear and riddled with anxiety. And so I started writing songs about what I was feeling. I literally wrote one having a panic attack, the song called Help.
Wow.
I wrote that first verse on the plane to Nashville to go into the studio. And instead of working on the song we were supposed to that day, we wrote this song called Help. And then a few months ago, really, it was a last minute thing. I looked at all these songs I had, and I felt the Lord say, release these. My people need them.
Wow.
And I think this is a timely thing for you to put out with what everyone's experiencing right now. And I'm not a professional on mental health. I'm kind of just like David. I'm processing the things I'm experiencing. And if it can help anybody, God's given me resources and a voice to sing and the ability to record. Why wouldn't I put these out there? Even if it just communicates, hey, me too. You feeling a little crazy? You know what? Me too.
Yes.
And by the way, I have an answer. I know who you need to run to. I know who is our help.
Wow.
And so that's kind of how it came together. I thought I was going to put 3 songs out. I looked at all the songs I had, and I was like, oh, my gosh, I think I'm going to release a full project. I think it's going to be like 10 or 11 songs.
Good for you. That is such a powerful story. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, of course.
Wow. Brandon Lake, you're a joy. We hope you'll come back and share more powerful thoughts and jokes, okay?
I would love that. I'll start collecting the jokes. Love you guys.
We love you back.